Life isn't always fair. Sometimes the people you trust break your heart. Sometimes the dreams you chase fall apart. And sometimes the pain gets so loud, it drowns out everything else. But here's the truth that most people don't want to hear. You still get to choose. Not what happens to you, but how you respond. Not the pain, but what you do with it. You get to choose happiness, even when life hurts. Happiness is not something that magically appears when life finally goes your way. It's not reserved for people who have it easy, who are never hurt, or who have perfect circumstances. Happiness is a decision, a mindset, and it's one of the most powerful choices you can make, especially when life is hard. Choosing happiness doesn't mean you're denying reality or pretending that everything is fine. It means that despite the reality of your pain, your loss, or your struggle, you are choosing not to let it steal your joy. It means you understand that you can feel hurt and still be hopeful. You can feel broken and still believe something beautiful will come out of this. It means you take back your power in a world that constantly tries to take it from you. Many people live under the illusion that they have to wait until their problems are solved. Their bank account is full, their relationship is healed, or their anxiety is gone before they can finally be happy. But if you're always waiting for life to be perfect, you'll be waiting forever. Life is unpredictable. It will test you, it will hurt you, and there will be moments that shake you to your core. But in those moments, you still have a say in who you become. You still have a say in how you show up. That's the part people forget. You don't have to feel great to make a great choice. When you wake up and everything feels heavy, when you're surrounded by chaos, or when your mind is filled with worry, that's when choosing happiness becomes a radical act. It's in those moments when you count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and take a breath. You sit in the storm, but you don't let it become your identity. You acknowledge the pain, but you don't hand it the keys to your future. You say, yes, life is hard right now, but I still get to decide how I carry myself through this. Choosing happiness doesn't mean everything feels good. It means you're choosing to create space for light, even when everything feels dark. It means you're planting seeds of peace in the middle of chaos. It's about the little things, the decision to smile, to be kind, to move your body, to speak truth to yourself when your mind is spinning with fear. These small choices build emotional resilience, and over time, they become your strength. You can't always choose what happens to you, but you can always choose how you respond. And when you choose happiness, not fake positivity, but real inner peace, you're choosing to rise above the chaos. You're choosing to protect your joy. You're choosing to live on your terms. That's not just powerful, that's transformational. Choosing happiness, especially during painful moments, does not mean ignoring or suppressing your emotions. It's not about forcing a smile when your heart is aching or pretending that everything is fine when your world feels like it's falling apart. True happiness, the kind that lasts, begins with emotional honesty. It begins with the courage to say, I'm hurting, without guilt or shame. Too often, we're told to be strong by hiding our feelings, as if acknowledging pain makes us weak. But in reality, recognizing your pain is one of the strongest things you can do. It's how healing begins. You cannot move forward until you sit with what you feel and allow yourself to be human. Emotions are not enemies. They are messengers. Your sadness, your grief, your anger, they are telling you something. They're pointing to a wound that needs care, a disappointment that needs release, or a fear that needs light. When you ignore those emotions, you don't escape them, you bury them, and buried pain always finds its way back to the surface. Real happiness comes from processing what you feel, not avoiding it. It's found in being honest with yourself and saying, this hurts, but I'm not going to stay stuck here forever. Acknowledging pain does not mean you're giving up on joy. In fact, it makes your joy more genuine. When you face the darkness and still choose to believe in the light, that's when your happiness becomes powerful. You're not happy because life is easy. You're happy because you've learned how to carry pain and peace at the same time. That duality, the ability to feel deeply but still rise daily, is what builds true strength. It's okay to cry. It's okay to take time to heal. It's okay to say, I'm not okay right now. That doesn't make you any less worthy. It doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're being real. And when you allow yourself to be real, you create space for transformation. You give yourself permission to grow. You give yourself the compassion you would offer to someone else, and that self-compassion becomes your foundation for change. Happiness isn't about escaping emotion, it's about holding your emotions with tenderness and still choosing to keep going. It's about saying, yes, this is hard, but I still believe better days are ahead. The most resilient people are not the ones who never feel pain, they are the ones who feel it fully, process it, and then choose to rise anyway. So don't hide from your feelings, face them, feel them, learn from them, and then choose, slowly and steadily, to walk toward the life you deserve. Because even when life hurts, happiness is still possible, not by avoiding what's real, but by embracing it with grace. Your mindset is the lens through which you experience life. Everything you think, feel, and believe begins in your mind. That's why your mindset shapes your reality far more than your circumstances ever will. You can have every opportunity in the world, but if your mindset is filled with doubt, fear, or negativity, you'll sabotage yourself before you even begin. On the other hand, you can be going through a storm, facing pain, loss, or uncertainty, and still find a sense of peace and purpose simply because your mind refuses to let that pain define you. The thoughts you allow to dominate your mind become the story you live. If you constantly think, I'm not good enough, this will never get better, or I can't handle this, you're reinforcing a cycle of limitation and hopelessness. But if you start to shift your inner dialogue even slightly, everything begins to change. When you start telling yourself, this is hard, but I can get through it, or I've survived so much already, or this doesn't define me, you begin to rewrite your reality from the inside out. It's important to understand that mindset isn't about toxic positivity. It's not about pretending everything is okay or denying the challenges you're facing. It's about taking control of your perspective. Life will test you. It will give you situations you didn't ask for. But you always have the power to decide what those experiences will mean to you. Will they break you or build you? Will they define you or refine you? The choice begins in your thoughts. Rewiring your mindset takes practice. It's a daily process of catching yourself in the middle of a negative thought spiral and choosing a different response. It's noticing when your inner critic is getting loud and intentionally speaking with compassion and encouragement instead. It's choosing to focus on solutions instead of obsessing over problems. Over time, these small mental shifts create a powerful ripple effect in your life. When you start to believe that you are capable, worthy, and resilient, you act accordingly. You take more risks, you stand taller, you stop settling for less, you speak up, you heal. That's the power of mindset. It influences your actions, your emotions, and your outcomes. It doesn't remove the pain, but it helps you walk through it with strength and clarity. So when life hurts, when it feels like everything is against you, turn inward. Ask yourself, what story am I telling myself right now? Is it lifting me or limiting me? Your thoughts are not just passing ideas, they are the blueprint of your future. Change your thoughts, and you change your experience. Your circumstances might be out of your control, but your mindset is always yours to shape. And when you choose to believe in yourself, even when life feels impossible, you unlock a version of you that nothing can break. Gratitude is one of the most powerful forces for emotional healing and lasting happiness, especially when life feels painful or overwhelming. It's easy to be grateful when everything is going well, when you're healthy, loved, successful, and secure. But the real power of gratitude shows up when you practice it during life's hardest seasons, when your heart is heavy, your future is uncertain, and nothing seems to be going your way. In those moments, gratitude becomes more than just a feeling. It becomes a discipline, a mindset, and sometimes even a lifeline. When life hurts, your mind naturally focuses on what's wrong. That's part of our survival wiring. We scan for danger, for pain, for loss. But when we let that dominate our thoughts, we fall into hopelessness, fear, and emotional paralysis. Gratitude interrupts that cycle. It redirects your focus. It shifts your attention away from what's missing and points you toward what still remains, no matter how small. It could be something as simple as a breath, a sunrise, a kind word, a warm cup of tea, or the fact that you made it through another day. These may seem like small things, but when you train your mind to notice them, they begin to anchor you. Gratitude doesn't erase pain, but it softens it. It doesn't ignore reality, but it reframes it. It allows you to say, yes, this is hard, but I'm still thankful for the strength I'm discovering. I'm still grateful for the lessons I'm learning. I'm still holding on to hope. This kind of thinking isn't naive, it's courageous. It takes strength to look pain in the face and still choose to find something good. Scientific research backs this up. Studies have shown that people who regularly practice gratitude have lower levels of stress, anxiety, and depression. They sleep better, think more clearly, and even have improved physical health. That's because gratitude rewires the brain. It helps create new mental pathways that are rooted in abundance and possibility rather than scarcity and fear. One powerful way to cultivate gratitude is by journaling. Every day, take just a few minutes to write down 3 things you're thankful for. They don't have to be big or life-changing. They just have to be real. The more you do this, the more your brain learns to notice and appreciate the good around you. Another way is to express it to others. Send a message, make a call, or simply say thank you. Gratitude grows when it's shared. When life hurts, it's easy to feel powerless, but gratitude gives you some of that power back. It reminds you that even in the middle of your struggle, there is still beauty, still goodness, still light. And when you focus on what's right, even when so much feels wrong, you begin to create space in your heart for joy to return. It doesn't happen all at once, but with every act of gratitude, you open the door a little wider for healing and hope to walk in. Choosing happiness during difficult times isn't about one big life-changing decision, it's about the small choices you make every single day. These daily choices, even when they seem insignificant, are incredibly powerful. They shape your emotions, your mindset, and ultimately, your entire life. Often, people wait for a dramatic moment of change to feel better. They want a breakthrough, a miracle, or for everything to suddenly fall into place. But true emotional freedom is built through consistent, small acts that help you take back control from pain, fear, and doubt. When life hurts, even the simplest tasks can feel overwhelming. Getting out of bed, brushing your hair, responding to a message, these things might seem minor to someone else. But in a moment of emotional pain, they are victories. Every time you choose to keep moving, even slowly, you're building resilience. Every moment you choose to speak kindly to yourself instead of tearing yourself down, you're creating space for healing. Every breath you take when you want to scream or cry is proof that you're fighting for your peace. It's easy to underestimate the impact of small, daily habits, but they are the foundation of transformation. Happiness isn't a destination you arrive at, it's something you nurture. It's built in the way you talk to yourself when no one's listening. It's in the moments you decide to go for a short walk, open a window and let the sun in, turn off a negative voice, or journal your thoughts. These are not just habits, they are acts of emotional self-care and rebellion against the idea that you have to stay stuck in your pain. Even on your hardest days, you can still make a positive choice. You can choose to put on clothes that make you feel good. You can drink a glass of water and remind yourself that your body matters. You can listen to uplifting music or a motivational message that lifts your spirit. These small steps may not solve every problem, but they shift your energy. They show your mind and body that you're not giving up. Over time, those tiny choices become a lifestyle. They begin to change the way you see yourself. You no longer identify only with your pain or your past. You start to believe that you are capable of creating a better experience, not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. The truth is, healing and happiness are not about waiting until you're no longer hurting. They're about doing what you can with what you have today, right now, choosing one small thing that moves you forward. That's how emotional freedom is born, not in giant leaps, but in consistent, tiny steps that add up to something powerful. So keep showing up for yourself in the little ways. They matter more than you know. Here's a powerful and emotionally grounded conclusion that ties together all the expanded key points from your speech on Choose Happiness. Even when life hurts, no one escapes pain. Life will challenge you, disappoint you, and sometimes break your heart. But even in the deepest moments of hurt, you still have a choice, a powerful, life-altering choice. The choice to hold on to happiness. This doesn't mean you ignore your emotions or pretend everything's okay. It means you recognize the pain and still decide not to live in it forever. You begin to shift your mindset, even when everything inside you wants to give up. You practice gratitude not because life is perfect, but because you're choosing to focus on what's still good. You take small steps each day, simple, brave actions that lead you toward emotional freedom. And with every choice, you begin to reclaim your power. True happiness is not found in the absence of pain, but in the strength to rise through it. It's built moment by moment through courage, through compassion, and through a mindset that refuses to surrender to darkness. So no matter what you're going through, remember this: you are not alone, you are not broken, you are not stuck. You are capable of healing, you are worthy of joy, and you are strong enough to choose happiness even when life hurts.